ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिर्वोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यभिमः योगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ Mantra number 10. हिरण्मये परे कोशे विरजं ब्रह्म निष्कलं तच्छुभ्रं ज्योतिषां ज्योतिः तद्यत् आत्मविदो विदुः. So the Brahman is equated with the Atma here, and that too Brahman is equated as Ananda Swarupa Atma. Very, very important thing. Atma is consciousness. There is one limitless consciousness which is existence, which is fullness, limitless, etc. But here in this particular mantra, Jyotisham Jyotihi, definitely, of course, consciousness is revealed. At the same time, it has been revealed as an Ananda Swarupa, limitless, fullness, wholeness, etc. So we'll have to see this thing also in detail. So the Brahman, Tadyat Atma Vido Viduhu. That Brahman, well, which has manifested in this kosha, which is more innermost kosha, and which is Jyotisham Jyoti, which is light of all the lights. One who knows that Brahman as Atma, Atma Vidaha. One who knows them as Atma. They know the Brahman as the very self. That Shubram, Jyotisham Jyotihi, etc. Shubram, pure. Virajam Nishkalam Brahma, which is free from any kalas, which is free from all the vayavas, etc. Partless. Virajam, free from any kartrutvam. Any attribute is an impurity so far as self is concerned. Because any attribute is a superimposition on an attributeless Brahman. And therefore, if a attributeless Brahman is taken with the attributes, then that attribute is considered as a dosha. That attribute is considered as the impurity. Because our consciousness is, the Brahman is Shuddham, then any attribute, well, definitely turns out to be impurity. That is superimposed upon the self due to ignorance. Basically, avidya is the main impurity. But due to that, all the attributes are seen in Brahman, the self, and it also brings the calamity. In a person's life who has that kind of a knowledge, who has that kind of a vision about oneself. So, well, anyway, and so Hiranmaye Pare Koshe, that's the first thing, very important thing, we will have to see that. So, in the most interior and shining Shit, Hiranmaya means basically, we know, Hiranmaya is basically a gold. So it's an expression in a Vedic language, this always used, which means similar to gold, means in terms of shining. And Parekosha. Parakosha has been told as a Anandamaya Kosha, which is innermost. because that is how this Anandamaya Kosha has been narrated in our Panchakosha Viveka. Yeah, I mean also in Taittiriya also. So the most outer kosha is Annarasamaya, that is physical body. Anyontaraatma pranamaya, Anyontaraatma manomaya, Anyontara, Anyaha, Antaraha, Atma. And that is how, so the most outer kosha. Kosha means it's a layer where a mistake is, where a mistake happens. But so physical body is called Annamaya Kosha. Means that's a level where Atma is mistaken. Atma is mistaken at the physical body. How? Atma is taken as a physical body. That's a mistake. Therefore, Annamaya, even though it's a physical body called Annamaya, but we add word Kosha in order to understand that the mistake has happened at the physical level, taking Atma as a physical body. And that way Pranamaya also. So Anyontar Atma, that's how they say. Taittiriya also says that same way, Anyontar Atma. So Savaesha Purushonna Rasamaya. This Purusha, this Atma is this Anna Rasamaya. So Anna Rasamaya, this physical body is Purusha, means is Atma. And then Anyontar Atma. No. There is another Atma, that is a self, which is inner to this. That's a Pranamaya. Then inner to that Atma, and that is Atma, again is Manomaya. So if you have to add word Kosha, because that's Atma. And Atma means that's a mistake actually. At every level there is a mistake. And therefore, so, but of course Kosha is where actually there you have to analyze and understand the Atma also. That is also true. But you have taken that particular level is as a Atma. That's a mistake. Like they say, this, the sheath basically. So like a sword is available in that scabbard or etc. Well, but so you have to search the sword in that scabbard. But well, definitely if you take the scabbard itself as a sword, that is not true. It is covered. The sword is covered there. That's a mistake. Sword is covered. Same way Atma is as though covered. As though covered with the physical body. And therefore Atma is taken as the physical body. Atma is taken as the prana. Atma is taken as mind, etc. Atma is taken as a buddhi, kartrutvam. Atma is taken as a anandamaya, bhoktrutvam, etc. And therefore every level one commits a mistake of taking self as that particular thing, and therefore it becomes kosha. So Annamaya Kosha is the most exterior one, and this, then if you go further and further, then ultimately the Anandamaya, which is the Bhokta, experiencer of result of action is called, that's Anandamaya. And this Anandamaya actually is the most basic person, natural. That's how the most interior, or innermost, and that is Bhokta ultimately. And so here we'll understand a little bit more about this Anandamaya, and then I will connect it with the Ananda, that is Atma. So this Mayat basically is a Vikara, a change. And therefore that's a difference, big difference between Ananda Atma and Anandamaya. So the Ananda available with a degree, certain modification. Therefore it is Mayat, Vikara. So it's a degree of Ananda. And experience of Ananda is subject to change basically due to various degrees of inhibition. That is the what I am going to discuss later. So why Ananda has a degree? And since Ananda has a degree, that's how it is. There is a modification, there is a Vikara, there is a change because of the degree. So then it is called Anandamaya. So various degrees of inhibition are there, and that is how we have various degrees of Ananda, mainly three. This is very beautifully described in Taittiriya itself in Brahmananda Valli as Tasya Priyameva Shiraha Modo Dakshinah Pakshaha Pramoda Uttarah Pakshaha. So Priyameva Shiraha. So Priya, Moda and Pramoda. Well, so we have these three words to express this human Ananda in different degrees. Priya is comparatively, there is a Ananda, but more than that is a Moda. More than that is a Pramoda. And we experience that way also. We sometimes become happy. Sometimes become more happy. Sometimes we become so happy. Elated. That's how it has been expressed like this. So at the sight of something desirable, definitely there is a degree of Ananda. And in owning, if there is more Ananda, then we have Moda, Pramoda, etc. And so one who experiences this threefold degree of Ananda is a Bhokta. That's called Anandamaya Kosha. So Atma has been taken as a Bhokta, is a mistake. That's called Anandamaya Kosha. Atma is taken as a Bhokta. And this Bhokta is a basic person, which is why Anandamaya is mentioned. And this basic ego with this will, but without much choice, in fact, is this Bhokta. When there is a choice and if you freely identify with the free will and exercise the free will, that's a Vijnanamaya, Karta. But you are with the will, but you don't exercise much will, then definitely you are a Anandamaya, Bhokta. And definitely, compared to Karta, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya is an inner thing, because the doer goes about doing in order to become the enjoyer ultimately. That is the basic person. That's how this mantra says, Hiranmaye Pare Koshe. Even Bhashyakara also says, Param Tat Sarva Abhyantaratvat, which is innermost. Here Param, Pare Koshe. Kosha, of course, we understand. But Param means Tat Sarva Abhyantaratvat, which is innermost Kosha. That is Anandamaya. Even doer does lot of activity, exert himself, herself, in order to be happy. Definitely in order to become an enjoyer. And that is why the enjoyership, the Anandamaya Kosha, is the basic person. And the Kartru is busy to become a Bhokta. And since Sukha, of course, Ananda is there at every level. Sukha is there at every level, we call it Anandamaya. Because Priya, Moda or Pramoda, Ananda is there in a different degree. That's how Anandamaya. Mayat you can take even Prachurya also. There are Mayat has several meaning. That's a Pratyaya brings a varieties of the meaning. So Anandamaya means a modification, degree of Ananda, or Anandamaya in which there is a Prachuryam, predominance of Ananda. Even though 3 degrees are there, Priya, Moda, Pramoda, but Ananda is there, right? In all the 3 types of vrittis. And therefore, so Bhokta or Anandamaya Kosha is, the Bhokta is called Anandamaya Kosha. So this, the experience of degrees of pleasure, etc. is there. So when I say I am a Sukhi now, this Anandamaya is a Kosha. To say now I am a Sukhi means I was not a Sukhi before. And therefore, definitely there is a Vikara. I was not Sukhi before, now I have become Sukhi. So definitely there is a Vikara, there is a change. This is how, that is how it has been considered as a Kosha also, Vikara also, Mayat means. So I was in pain before and now I am happy, etc. So that's a mistake in fact, both. We are going to see, when I say that I am unhappy, also at the time I am a fullness and I am wholeness. And when I say I am Sukhi also, I am happy also, the limitlessness is there. So both conclusions are wrong basically. I am Dukhi or I am Sukhi. I was Dukhi before and I am Sukhi now, let's say. Both are mistake, and therefore this Anandamaya is considered as a Kosha. Even though there is some truth about myself when I experience Sukha, but it's an experience in which the whole truth is not recognized, and we are going to see that. And so that is how I want to retain happiness. If I am happiness, if it is understood, why should I retain happiness? Why should I retain happiness? That shows a mistake. That shows a mistake. And we'll see also how I am Ananda, and how this Ananda only is expressed as a different degree of happiness also. Anyway, so you want to retain this happiness, and there is a anxiety also about retaining it. So it is like, it's like a sugar crystal that wants to retain its sweetness basically. So all these are based on self-ignorance, and therefore it, definitely, even though the Ananda, the fullness is expressed in the degree of pleasures, but I don't recognize it due to the self-ignorance, and therefore the whole Anandamaya, in which there are degrees of happiness, and the conclusions based on that, I am a Sukhi, etc., reveals it is a mistake. It's a mistake. It's a mistake, and therefore it is called kosha. So because Anandamaya has covered the self, like the sword is covered by that scabbard, etc., same with this I, the Ananda, the fullness, is as though covered. And I take myself as a bhokta, enjoyer, etc. So there are 5 levels. In this, out of this is one of the level in which I commit a mistake regarding oneself. Now, we'll have to see, really speaking, how this Ananda, that is me, is revealed. Is there even in this Anandamaya kosha, in different degrees of Ananda. So basically, we know that I am a limitless as such, or fullness or wholeness, etc. And I experience this fullness now and then. I'm going to take it in little detail, because this is a place in the whole Upanishad I'm getting a chance to discuss regarding the Ananda. That's the nature of oneself. So even though actually the experience of fullness now and then, in happiness, there is a sense of fullness. That's for sure. I don't have any sense of limitation. That's for sure. So even though I experience fullness now and then, but I don't know it as myself. That's how we said it as Anandamaya kosha. And the notion that I am an individual and etc., I am a limited being, I am small, I am insignificant, etc., I am wanting, all that gets dropped in a deep sleep state. That is why out of the 3 states, it's an inviting experience. Out of the 3 experiences, the inviting experience is a deep sleep state. A welcome experience is there of a deep sleep state, because I am able to drop. I am able to drop out the notion that I am a small, I am insignificant, I am wanting, is dropped. So, so you are never tired of going to sleep, because the notion I am able to drop it. It's not there in deep sleep state. Not only it is not there in deep sleep state, it is not there. This notion I am small, I am insignificant, I am wanting, that notion is also not there in other states also. Not on deep sleep means it is continuously, that notion is not there. But in waking also, whenever I am able to drop this notion that I am insignificant, I am wanting, I am limited, I am small, whenever I am able to drop it, we'll see which moments, etc. So if I am able to drop in a waking state occasionally, because of apohanam, etc., I suspend that notion, then also I am happy person. So I am wanting, I am small, etc., that notion, whenever I drop it, definitely then I must be experiencing myself as a fullness. Because I am limited, that notion is dropped, and I feel joy. Means in a moment of joy, I experience myself as fullness. Definitely. Now, we'll have to analyze this. So, even in a moment of happiness, I am a subject. and I experience an object and be happy experiencing that object, or let's say the world in general. So in a moment of joy also, I am an experiencer, the subject, and the world which is object I experience and I become happy. So looking at the stars I can be happy, looking at a child I can be happy, looking at the mountains I can be happy, looking at the river and ocean I can be happy, looking at the blue sky and the beautiful trees etc. I become happy, looking at animals and flowers and what not, I become happy. So that reveals something. I am experiencer, and that world which I am experiencing is object. I am the subject, experiencer, and that's an object of experience. That's there, and still I become a happy person. So, and the definition of world is which you confront, not the whole world. Means definitely in a particular experience, whatever you confront with, that's your world at that time. And so, whenever I confront this world as an object of experience and I am experiencing, still, if I become happy, then only thing is because I am a non-demanding. I am not a wanting person with respect to that particular object. This is a very beautiful thing which has been revealed by Pujya Swamiji. It's a fantastic thing. That whenever you confront a world, that is an object of experience and you are experiencing the subject. Still, if that object does not invoke or evoke in you any kind of a demand or a want, then you are basically experiencing happiness. So why this nature, especially, that's how I discuss that the mountains and rivers or anything, a blue sky or an ocean or flowers, etc., or beautiful trees, and you see them and you become happy. Look at yourself. At that moment, you are a non-demanding person. You are not a wanting person. And therefore, basically, to the extent that the presence of a wanting person is there, to that extent, the fullness is going to be abridged, inhibited. And that, so even though you are happy, you are experiencing happiness, but the degrees will be there. And so, this is a thing we have to understand. So, even though I experience an object, but if suppose a little bit want, a little bit demand is there for a change in the object, to that extent, I will experience less happiness. And therefore, to the extent that the presence of a wanting person is there, to that extent the fullness of the wanting you, and the fullness is going to be abridged or inhibited. And there are situations where that wanting you is totally taken care of. Totally. Means totally, you are 0% wanting person. Then you will burst into a laughter. And so this Anandamaya, in which you are experiencing a degree of happiness. That degree of happiness reveals a wanting presence of a wanting person there. Even though you enjoy object of experience, but there is some want which you want to be fulfilled. If that is not there at all, if you are not at all a wanting person and that object has definitely will not be branded as a wanted. Wanted subject object division is totally gone. Totally. In any moment of experience, then you will have a fullness, experience of fullness, Ananda, and that is you. now we'll have to remove all these possibilities where we will have to see the fullness or ananda is not there anywhere other than yourself. The first thing in the world, which is a which is most prevalent notion about this happiness, generally they say like this, that is happiness or fullness, well, it generally comes when when a desire is fulfilled. When a particular desire is fulfilled and a new desire has not arisen, in between, one definitely experience fullness. So it proves, it shows that fullness comes, and as the new desire arises, that fullness goes. Happiness goes. If you can't appreciate fullness right now, don't worry about it. Happiness comes when the desire is fulfilled and a new desire has not arisen. In between, one experiences, well, a oneself free from any kind of a want. A want or a lack. So you experience fullness, happiness in those moments. It's a totally wrong notion. It's a wrong notion. Because if a desire is fulfilled, one need not become happy. For many people, a long drawn desire of getting married is fulfilled. But happiness is not yet arrived. And therefore, that could be possible. So a desire is, in fact, many of your desire, one has to go back. This is a beautiful vibhuti of Ishvara called apohanam. Apohanam means we forget. And that's how one way it is a gift. Bhagavan says it is basically a vibhuti of me. And so we experience we forget our all experiences of unhappiness and shock. That's fine. But we also forget those experiences, and then we are not able to analyze it properly. But you must have seen the many of desires, when they are fulfilled, you were repenting also. And therefore, it's not that desires fulfilled means definitely happiness comes. No, that's not a criteria. And also, a new desire, okay. So it is not true that after fulfilling a desire and before the rise of other, one becomes happy. And therefore, definitely this kind of a conclusion is not wrong. That fullness or happiness comes, and then as the new desire arises, it goes away. It shows a sheer ignorance. Fullness, I am changing by the word limitless. Okay, it's same thing. Fullness or limitlessness can never go, can never come. That's called limitlessness. If limitless comes and goes, means it is not limitless in time. It is limited in time. And therefore, when will be I happy? When will I enjoy? When will I get happiness? Is a meaningless thing. Because I is basically limitless. I'm considering you know that very well. I is limitless. So there is no question of losing in any time. Means basically a object of desire, I have gained that, and now since the desire is fulfilled, and now I'm experiencing happiness or fullness or limitlessness, and now a new desire arises, and therefore fullness or happiness goes or limitlessness goes. That's not true. It's not true. Anyway, so if you think you have lost that, you have lost happiness now because a new desire has arisen. Therefore, I have lost happiness, I have lost fullness, I have lost wholeness, I have lost limitlessness. Well, that's purely ignorance. I will explain you. It's a very amazing thing that, I have that kind of a notion. So, I mean, and I think that, well, basically I become limitless for some time in between, and well, so I become eternal for some time. It's telling like that. Limitless means, well, basically it's eternal. Limitlessness in time or limitlessness in space, etc., indicates eternality. And so I become limitless for few moments. I become happy for few moments means I become limitless for few moments is a sheer ignorance. Well, definitely, what is limitless is basically eternal, limitless in time, and therefore that's not correct. It shows ignorance. Now we'll try to understand this. So I is always fullness, limitless. I is always Ananda, basically, and that is my nature. And we are not talking about this bliss, etc. Well, bliss is an experiential word that does not communicate anything, in fact. So if we say that it is bliss, the next question will be, no, they always say like that. So existence, consciousness, bliss. So, well, the next question will be, if somebody says that I experience bliss. So, well, Swamiji, I know that I am bliss. You say you are bliss, you are Ananda, means you are bliss. Then definitely, how can I experience that bliss? That question will come. So, the word bliss is an experiential word which does not communicate anything. In fact, what we say is, in every blissful experience, what is present is I only, and that is to be recognized. And therefore, it is bliss, etc. means we are not waiting for a new experience, etc. We are analyzing our own experiences, in which a one invariable limitless consciousness is there, and that is what I experience even in a deep sleep state, and I also experience in a waking state in certain moments of joy. And in that moment of joy, when I don't look upon myself as a wanting being, even though I am present as an experiencer, there is an object of experience also, but that object of experience cannot evoke in me a wanting being, then I experience the same fullness which is there even in a deep sleep state. And well, in a moment of that joy, happiness, well, you are able to drop. Please remember this, I am going to connect it later. In a moment of joy, I am able to drop a notion I am a wanting being. Either object does not evoke in you a wanting being, or you are able to drop a notion about yourself that I am a limited, small, insignificant, wanting being. Well, so even though the consciousness which is limitless, which is present in all the three states, in a waking state, I experience, because this question is going to be there, if I am limitless, which is invariably present in all the three states, in a waking state also I should be happy all the time like deep sleep state. But it is not possible, because in a waking state our mind is going to do a certain trick, and because of that, well, definitely that I will tell you later. That is, and due to that trick of this mind, even though the limitless cannot go anywhere, limitless cannot come, which will be always there, that is limitless, and therefore I should experience myself as a limitless, but I am not able to experience in a waking state, because mind is awake, which does that trick, which does not allow you to experience your fullness. And it allows basically to experience fullness when, well, definitely in certain moments. I will explain that. So basically, we are analyzing our own experiences of waking dream and deep sleep state to understand what is invariably there in all the three, and that limitless I is invariably there in all the three, and that consciousness limit which is limitless is there in all the three states, which is not gained only on the fulfillment of a desire. I feel that the fullness, limitlessness, wholeness, happiness is gained when a desire is fulfilled. It's not true. If it is gained, what is gained can never be limitless. We have to write it with a golden letters. What is gained cannot be limitless, right? What is gained in time, and therefore cannot be limitless. What is gained is always a limited object, which you say I am a gainer and it is gained. Automatically division also is there, and both are limited then. What is gained is always limited in terms of space, in terms of time, in terms of object also. And therefore, this limitlessness is gained after fulfilling the desire. I only gain that limitlessness, wholeness, happiness, etc. That's not correct. Due to sheer dropping down the notion that I am a small being, I am a limited being, you are able to you are able to experience the fullness or limitlessness that is you, which is present in all the three states as an invariable factor. Now, we have to go a lot more. Anyway, so with the desire, when the desire is there, I was there as a whole. When the desire is fulfilled, I am there as a whole. With the individuality is there, I am there as a whole. With individuality is dropped in a deep sleep state, etc., I am there as a whole, because I am invariably present in all the three states. And so in a waking state, when the individuality is there, I am the whole which is there. So wholeness is never lost, because that is the nature of me. That's I, the consciousness, and which is never lost. Anyway, otherwise what will happen when I say that wholeness or limitlessness, etc., freedom from lack, etc., is gained? That means I have to wait basically for this wholeness to happen, for this happiness to happen. And this is like saying, Puja Swamiji was saying, this is like saying, Swamiji used to give the example of a sugar, I remember, sugar crystal. This is like saying that, when will the sugar be sweet? Because the poor sugar does not know. And so if sugar cube asks this, when will I be sweet? Well, when you give up the notion that you are bitter, then definitely you will understand, you gain the sweetness. Okay? And so this is what, exactly like this, I have to drop the notion that I am small, insignificant, or a limited being, or wanting being. Either you drop, either object of experience or desirable object makes you drop a wanting being, which you desired, and you gain it, and you drop yourself as a desirer, a wanting being. Then you experience. Or else, all the situations will come. I will see that. But anyway, what I am saying is, there are 3-4 possibilities. Either you are able to drop the notion in a state called deep sleep state. Now come to waking state. In a waking state, whether you come across something, not you have desired, please understand, that we'll see that. It's not that a particular desired object has come. A object which was not desired, but it has come to you, and you are able to drop. You are passing through a road. And you just stop at a crossroad, some traffic, and you are driving a car, and then there is another car also just comes and parallel to you, it is also there, and from that car a child is looking at you and just laughing, and you you also started laughing. And a happiness is, basically has manifested in you. Now, it's not that you have desired that child from when you started from the home. Well, I want to see some child which is, laughing. Nothing. So an object which you see, even which you have not desired, can definitely push aside in you a notion that I am a small, insignificant being, or I am a wanting being, etc. Or else a wanted object, a desired object, you have gained it, and it has basically made you free from the notion that I am a wanting being. I am a wanting being, I am a small being, I am having a lack is one and the same thing. You can understand. I need not have to say all this thing again and again. And so, basically, when you are able to drop, when you gain a desired object, a wanted object, then also you experience the same fullness that is you. Now, we'll further analyze. So, basically, this is our notion in a waking state, especially the wholeness or happiness to happen. But that's a notion. When the sugar basically wants to be sweet, that kind of a notion it is. And so basically, whenever I'm able to drop the notion, either by gaining a desired object or either by gaining some object which has able to push aside a notion in you that I'm a wanting being, either way. And well, anyway, so the manifest experience is happiness, and it reveals the fullness of you. The manifest experience basically is called happiness, which reveals the fullness of you. And it shows that you do not need to fulfill your wants in order to be happy also. I have told you, you see a child which is laughing, you see a mountain which does not create a wanting being from you. There is a non-demanding, you don't demand. When you especially go to the nature, you don't demand. Whatever is there in whichever the shape, you enjoy it. It doesn't evoke in you any wanting being. Somehow, a part of the world always evokes in you a wanting being. And especially the world which is very near to you. Yeah. Your child, or husband, or wife, or father, or mother, all the time you have some complaint, some demand from them. Yeah. And a world, same world in which another part, especially the nature, a river or all these birds and these, etc., is blue sky, which does not evoke in you a wanting being, then you enjoy that world. And other part of the world which is very close to you, where there is a demand, which evokes in you a wanting being, a demanding being, a complaining being, definitely you are unhappy. Anyway, so basically, so it shows that I don't need to fulfill all the desires in order to be happy. When a desire is fulfilled, I become happy. That's a wrong concept. A fullness, happiness, limitlessness is all the time there. Well, due to punya, etc., whenever you are able to drop the notion that I am a small, I am an insignificant, or I am a wanting being, well, then you experience the same fullness which is you. That's all. This particular notion does not allow. But why this notion does not allow me? Simple, very simple. A same locus cannot be the locus of a limitation also and locus of a limitlessness also. When you say I am insignificant, I am a limited being, I am a small being, then definitely you are superimposing on the same self which is full, which is limitless. You are superimposing upon the same self as a limitations. And then definitely you are not able to experience the limitlessness. Either you can take yourself as a limited being, either you can take yourself as a limitless being. Both are not possible. And therefore, when you have a notion that I am a small person, I am a limited person, I am a wanting person, then you can't experience the limitlessness with regard to the same self. And so you go along with the notion about yourself during waking state and even during a dream state also. Right? And that notion does not allow you the happiness or fullness that is you, not that is yours, that is you basically. You, the consciousness which is limitless, is all the time there in all the three states, but in one state you are able to drop the notion. In other states you are not able to drop completely. Occasionally you are able to drop. Anyway, but why this notion? Self-ignorance. That's what we call. Due to self-ignorance, there is a dhyasa, etc. All that process I am not going. Anyway, now we'll check another possibility also. That whether is it possible to fulfill all the desires and then become happy or not. Need not be, we have seen that. But let's explore that. That one can fulfill all one's own likes and dislikes or desires. Same thing. Likes and dislikes, people create a division. But likes and dislikes are desires basically. Or likes and dislikes create desire. Either people sometimes become too, specific. In Pujya Swamiji's vision, it is one and the same thing. And I also feel the same, because a like indicates a want and dislike also indicates a want only. I want to gain something is called liking. And what is gained here? Well, I want to retain. Object of like. So that indicates a want. I want to gain or I want to retain. Object of like. Then definitely that raga indicates a desire, want. And I want to get rid of, or I want to keep away, object of dislike. Same thing. So again want. So basically, raga dveshas are desire. So can I fulfill all my likes and dislikes or desires and ultimately in order to be happy or not? That possibility is there or not? Suppose somebody asks. So if I am a wanting person, basically because of all my wants, then I become a non-wanting. Because you said whenever I drop that I am a wanting being, I am able to enjoy my fullness. Okay, but then I feel I don't agree with you that I am fullness. I would like to explore the other possibility that I agree with you. This is a Purupaksha. I agree with you that yes, whenever I am a non-demanding, non-wanting, non-complaining being, I am a happy person. I experience fullness. I agree with you. And whenever I am a wanting being, definitely I am unhappy person. Unless at that object of want, object of desire, I gain, etc. I understand that. But you are saying that when the desire, when the desire is fulfilled, any new desire has not arisen. In between, I experience happiness. To that, O Vedantin, you are not agreeing, because you have shown that even after fulfilling a desire, one becomes unhappy also, and therefore all the time when a desire is fulfilled, I become happy. It is not so. And therefore you said, that is not correct. That a desire is fulfilled, one desire is fulfilled and a new desire has not arisen. In between I enjoy that, I enjoy a freedom from lack, freedom from want, a non-wanting being, a fullness, etc. I experience. And that is why you said, there is no need of fulfilling the desire. And without fulfilling desire also, you see something just accidentally and you become happy also, and therefore one need not fulfill all desire, etc. You said. I to the extent I agree, but I would like to explore the possibility in which I fulfill my all wants. Then I will not remain as a wanting being. Then I can remain happy. I can remain as a non-wanting being, which is happy, all the time. What about this? Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Let us try to understand that one can be able to fulfill all wants or not. In fact, I need not have to discuss with you. We have discussed in Karma Yoga also. Trishna avadim ko gatah. One cannot fulfill, one fulfill 10 desires by the time hundreds have arisen. Right? And you fulfill 100 and then thousands have arisen. And that desire is not desire of an object. There is a desire to change other person also. And my God, and there is no limit. There is no limit. My God, the person keeps changing according to your whim. Changing, changing and changing. But you have not stopped demanding that still you have to change. 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 That person says, better you change. Better you change yourself. And become a non-demanding person, okay? And therefore it is not possible to keep oneself free from want. If I am a wanting being, I will be a wanting being. And I will be a wanting being. I will be a wanting being in all the janmas, not one janma. So let us drop that idea of free from all the wants, and so that I will be a non-wanting being, free from lack, free from desires, and all the time I enjoy my fullness. That's theory. It is just not possible. So we cannot change anybody, and if there is a desire or want to change also others, and therefore it's not possible. Well, and if that possibility was correct possibility, then in that case no one would be happy person, because no one can fulfill all the wants. I look every day myself as a wanting being, and therefore there should not be a moment of happiness in anybody's life. But in spite of my husband has not changed, in spite of my son, daughter has not changed, in spite of my son-in-law has not changed, even though I demand so much, and still they have not changed, I enjoy in between. That shows one need not fulfill all the wants, all likes and dislikes in order to be happy. Everyone has a moment of happiness here and there. In spite of all the wants are there in my head, all likes and dislikes which are to be fulfilled, yet they are there, and still I do have a moment of happiness, and therefore I need not I do not need to get into the process of becoming happy by fulfilling the desire. When I am in a process of becoming happy, well, I will be actually unhappy. And when I give up the process of becoming, well, I am happy. When I give up the process of becoming happy, I become happy actually. And so as long as I am in the rut of becoming happy by fulfilling a desire, I remain unhappy. And therefore, I'm able to give up this process of becoming whenever I'm happy, especially in a moment of joy, by somebody cracks a joke, that I see something very beautiful in the nature, etc., etc. Well, all my wants are still there, but still I'm able to give up the process of becoming happy, and therefore, not cognitively, please understand, experientially. Cognitively means you understand. Well, I am fullness, I am limitless, there is no question of becoming. I am happiness, this is my nature. So where is question of becoming happy then? That's how Puja Swami was always saying the samsari means a life of becoming. Anyway, I am getting a chance of discussing, I think, after 1.5 years or 1 year, I don't know. But anyway, so well, not cognitively, experientially, you become free from the process of becoming happy. Cognitively means you understand that there is no need of becoming happy. I am happiness. That you understand. That's a cognitive change. But we are not discussing right now. And so something captures basically me and I become happy. A child, laughing child can capture, or a playing child can capture you, or a bird. When I see this blue bird, I become really happy. So beautiful. It comes here. And sometimes they come in a whole group. They all sit in a one tree. And you are just captured. You forget all this, several issues are going on in a Swami's head. All are dropped momentarily. So you become non-wanting, non-demanding, and you enjoy. So there are moments, in spite of our wants, in spite of I being a wanting person, I'm able to drop that. Now I'm able to say that it's a notion. If it is a reality that I'm a wanting being, if it is a reality, I cannot drop it. I'm able to drop it. What I'm able to drop is a notion. I'm able to drop every day in a deep sleep state. I am able to drop in a certain moments of basically certain capturing moments. I'm able to drop that notion in a waking state also. And therefore, that reveals some reality about me. That basically, so that moment of happiness reveals the fact that the subject and object become one whole. Now this is Vedanta. It's become one whole. And therefore this is wholeness. When you are looking at the stars well and you are happy, you are whole. The subject and object, well, they are basically one and the same. Swamiji, when they are not same, simple. In a moment of wanting being, in a moment of want, I am a wanting being, and that is a wanted object, a division. When you drop, when you brand them, one subject as a wanting being, an object as an object of want, wanted. Once you brand them, there is a separation. Because naturally, a wanting being and wanted object are not one. Otherwise, why do you want? Then why do you want? But you are able to drop it. And therefore, that forms a one whole. There is no other wholeness other than subject and object being the same. When subject and object being the same, there is a wholeness. Anyway, and so if I'm when I'm looking at the star, etc., also I'm happy, I'm whole. If I'm unhappy, also I'm whole, but there is a sense of separation. And when you are happy, this separation is gone. When you take yourself as a wanting being, automatically there is something which is wanted. That's different from you. That's there. That is there. If you drop that you are wanting being, there is no object called wanted. Object is there. Subject is there, but wanted separation is not there. Dvaitam is not there. Duality is not there. Then there is a wholeness. Object and subject are one and the same. Now we can understand who is a villain, who does this job of creating this separation. Telling one as one, branding as one as a wanting being and other as a wanted. That villain is mind. That's how day before yesterday I told you that, basically when you are unhappy, there is more mind. There is more mind because of this. Anyway, so this, when you are happy, this separation is gone. The wanted separation is gone. So any situation which does not evoke the wanting you, well, is always a desirable situation for you. Is always desirable. When you see the mountains or nature or any kind, generally it does not evoke any demand. Not just this. Even in a certain group you don't go. If they basically, suppose all other people are there and you also go there and you all have a get together. But suppose in that group, that group is able to evoke in you a wanting being in terms of money, in terms of wealth, in terms of knowledge, in terms of education, you will not go. Which create a sense of a smallness in you, well, you will not go. If you go to a particular group and it creates a wanting being, you also feel, oh, I should also have earned more money, See, look at these people, so wealthy, and look at their dresses and whatnot, beautiful. Look at their knowledge, what discuss they have. I should have that knowledge. Over. That's all. Over. You say, even though I am a limitless being, this particular situation has created, evoked a wanting being in terms of knowledge, in terms of money, in terms of any other thing, in terms of even beauty also, I tell you. If that particular, all the people suppose are smart, handsome and etc., well, beautiful, well then, and you will definitely have, Bhagavan would have given me some more beauty also. Immediately, unhappiness will arise. So beauty becomes a wanted thing, and you are a wanting being. Not just this I am saying regarding other situations where this wanting being is dropped. Any situation in which a wanting being is evoked is undesirable for you. Is always undesirable. Which does not create a wanting being in you is always desirable. That's how people take leave and go to the nature. They go to the nature. And but it does not evoke in you. Wherever you go to a place nearby, in which, even a forest, anything, going and sitting near a very beautiful river which is flowing, which does not create any demand in you, any wanting in you, any complaint, same thing ultimately in you. Best you feel this is the right situation for you. That's a desirable for you. So this is how it is. So anyway, so basically one need not fulfill all the wants in order to be a happy person, in order to experience the fullness, etc. It's my own nature. But whenever my own mind creates a division in me as a wanting being and object, but Swamiji, how can that object of a desire is basically created by mind? Mind projects. This is the object of desire. All mind projects. In fact, subject-object division itself mind projects. And on subject-object, it makes one as a wanting being, other as a wanted. Why? Likes and dislikes present in the mind. That's how your wanted object by you, desired object, wanted means basically desired object by you is different than a desired object of me. Why? Because likes and dislikes present in the mind. That is why they are saying by Karma Yoga you remove these likes and dislikes. Otherwise you will not be able to appreciate your Ananda, your happiness. That's the reason. Because these likes and dislikes create a certain objects as objects of desire, and you automatically become a desirer. There is no need that basically to create you as a desirer. Certain objects are objects of desire and you are a desirer automatically. Created by your own likes and dislikes. I can go further in a little more technical aspect, but that I want to drop it right now. Because that's going to come in the Panchadashi later. Even subject-object is just mind only. Yeah, the pramata, the knower, desirer, all, karta, bhokta, everything is mind. That's aham vritti. And there is a idam vritti. That's all. Anyway, but let's not go into that detail. But at least from this standpoint, desirer, desired, etc. Desirer and desired, object of desire. That division created by the mind. So when mind projects something, automatically unhappiness is going to come. It has created a separation. Subject and object. Subject of a desire and object of a desire. That is how more the mind, more the unhappiness. When that Shanta Vritti means the subject-object division is resolved. Subject-object division is resolved. When you are no more a wanting being, and there is no object of a wanting also, then definitely, then in such a state you experience the wholeness. Subject and object being one and the same. Experientially, cognitively also it is one and the same. It is one and the same. The subject and object, there is no division as such. Both are one and the same Brahman, consciousness alone. Anyway, so let's keep it up to this. Some few more points I have to discuss regarding Anandamaya also. We'll see that tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Monday, Tuesday, I think. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.